Hello. Oh no, I can hear myself. Hang on a second. There we go. What a weird view of the stream. Hello. Hi. I don't know how missing 2 weeks in a row has me out of practice, but it does. And I'm out here just struggling. I was like, how do I set up my stream for the day? Luckily, I figured it out. Uh, so that's great. I do wonder, however, because my dashboard looks really weird right now. I wonder if my schedule is somehow gone or I ran out of time on it, which is understandable. Like, I set it up to be every Monday, but I don't know if it's done that anymore. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to that until just now because things look weird and it's like, hey, you want to schedule a stream? Sure. Oh well, whatever. Hello, picture of a crook who has a picture. Hi. Oh my goodness. Did I leave work a little bit early? And by leave, I mean logged out of work a little bit early, then lay on my bed with the intent to only hang out for like 15 minutes because I fixed my chair and my body's having to readjust to it. And did I accidentally fall asleep and wake up 5 minutes ago? Kinda, but yes. So I'm really awake. Also, I just realized I put out my walnuts because I like eating walnuts. I'm a walnut person. Most nuts don't like. Walnuts, peanuts, and cashews are my favorite. I am not rested, but also just needed to get away from sitting in the chair for a hot minute because, again, I fixed my chair, so my body's having to adjust to a new chair, and that's painful for me, at least. It is. Because I have to realign. Kind of like if I get new shoes, and if the shoes have soles that, like, thick, like, arch. The ones that are to help your feet or whatnot versus, just flat footed shoes. Arch support. That's what those are called. I wasn't even tired. That's what's so weird. I wasn't even all that tired. I was just hang out, relax. I had already taken a mild nap earlier. It was fine. But changing my chair is like changing my shoes to shoes with like arch supports, and now all the bones in my lower half have to realign. And I knew this was gonna happen. I was like, it's not gonna be as bad. I know what's coming, and I forgot. I forgot in the 12 hours that I did it, and then I'm like, why does my hips hurt? Why are my feet hurt? Why does my knee hurt? Why can't I feel my leg? Because I'm sitting somewhat differently. Anyways, hi, welcome in. It's a good day. I have most of my voice back. It's still probably at a solid 95%, which is fine. I'm probably going to be that way for a little bit as my vocal cords heal, because I did damage my throat, screaming at the refs for not making the right call sometimes. It is what it is. I can't do much about that. But I'm feeling fine. I wasn't ever sick. I just really did. The refs, number 20 on the other team, get into fights, all the issues, and just not. The refs were like, we see him, but we're just gonna keep saying don't do that. But he kept doing it, so I'm just like. So at some point, I was like, ref, with the guy behind us who was cracking us up. Like I was trying to be just as loud as he was. Anyways, it was a good time. And then last week was I last stream, had I streamed, would have just been a whole bunch of air, and every so often there would be a tone of a word. You wouldn't have heard anything. I didn't have a voice. This is very funny. I'm glad I didn't stream last week though. But that means I'm excited for this week because we are jumping into the, I guess, third case of these Golden Idol investigations. Something about a boat. The Last Reaper is a ship. There was mutiny. There's a lot going on. I don't even know who this guy is. Anyways, let's get into it. How are you doing? How's everyone doing today? This is great. Sickness and health, the law of the jungle takes its toll. Sure. Oof. Ooh, why is this guy green? I've discovered that this man is not breathing. Okay. We're back on the 1797 and the 1927 switcheroos. These are talking about the deaths. Terrifying. Okay. Let's go with this lady. She seems intense. So my punishment is the only reason I'm alive. Yes. Okay. I swear I didn't know. You won't shoot a sick woman, will you? Oh. You're cold. Oh, it is cold outside. I need to step outside. I'll probably do that after stream. Because I really want to see how cold it is. Maybe walk out to my car. I need to... Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see if I get up early enough. But I need to bring a mouse that I bought when I was in New Orleans to UPS to send it back because I bought the mouse, but you know, the major function of the mouse, which is your left click, didn't work. And so I need to send it back. It's in my, but I keep forgetting it's in my car. So I don't want to miss that window to return it because I will fight someone. And so therefore I do want to also feel the cold. I do feel chilly in here. I will say that. Like I have one of my hands, weirdly enough, they're in my pants, but it's just on my thigh because my thigh is the warmest part thus far. I always do this. My hands are forever in my clothes. Never where you think they should be, though. Anyways, there is just on my thigh. Anyways, my hand is nice and warm, but my toes are cold because I'm wearing flip-flops and no socks because socks are the devil some days. This is a tent. All right. We have discovered a tent. Okay. We have more. This man is not breathing. He has been jadified is what I'm going to start calling it because what a color. He also has... Oh, nope, come back here. He also has this peculiar lightning bolt or maybe it's 574. Unsure. That's a strange marking on his hand. Let's see. This man is not breathing too. He has been jadified. Oh, got tents. Okay. Cool. Really should focus in on what's actually going on. Okay. Let's look in this tent. We got Captain's Journal, continuing our journey to destination. Did what was supposed to be done. Got what he needed, he wanted, and what he deserved, what a jest. Heading back, Ada reports slight fever. Ada has red marks. Twerp slept on duty. Couldn't keep his eyes open for 4 measly hours. Heh. Penalty of death by withholding something. I am truly a genius. Terrifying. I'm guessing that this is Ada because she has red marks on her face. Which is, bad probably. We also have a piece of paper. Watch duty. Jacques Triton, Cyril Amiot, Tom Atkin, and Stephen Garner. Ada Baker exempt due to illness. 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 8. That's kind of a lopsided amount of hours for everyone. 1 hour, 1 hour, then 2 hours, then 4 hours. Goodness gracious, I'd have to fight someone. Twerp. Twerp in this case is Stephen Garner. Okay. And we got 2 more tents. Oh my Dagon. I wanted to say dragon. Dagon. I saw the dreaded spit flies again. Avert marks of the deadly disease from my body. Take others. The witch claims she has a preventative cure for the fever in her kit. If it's true, give poor Tom a sign. Tom is no longer with us, I'm assuming. Of the 3 people on the ground that are jadified, that seems to be it. March 7th, It is a sorrowful thing what befell Walter Keane. I liked him. He never hit me, not even once. Ah, drowsiness doth overtake me. The witch proclaims herself stricken with illness. Walter Keane. He was the guy. He was in the original. He was in the original Case of the Golden Idol game. I think. Pretty sure. I think so. Let us continue. We still have more things to look at. I guess we don't have any other places other than 1927. Oh, someone ate a mushroom that they shouldn't have. Black Raven whiskey. The music's really giving terror. The man is not breathing. He consumed a mushroom, obviously. Never consumed the stuff that's brightly colored. That's death for you. A ruby ring. Spirit journey with Dawn Hernan. Yellow amanita. Low levels of neurazinth. Calming effect is suitable for loving kindness meditation, not to be confused with wizard's hat. Murky cone cup. I've learned too much off of Peak about what good mushrooms are that aren't even the colorful kind. This is why only the ones I can get from the marketplace. From the store, the grocery store. There we go. I don't know. I said marketplace like I somehow spoke with those words regularly. Murky cone cup. Medium levels of neurazinth, gently discovering your connection with the lovely cosmos. Wizard's hat, high levels of neurazinth. Beware, you can meet your shadow. For experienced practitioners only. They're like, we're going to get you high, but don't get too high. You're going to have a bad trip, is all he said. Easy trip, fun trip, probably deeper trip, and this is, you're going to see some stuff. It's going to be a bad time. Or it's poison. That also could be it, too. Expedition contract. The spoils of this expedition shall be split among the 6 party members as follows. Antoine Spilsbury. So Radigan Olita died. Therefore, they just added that 10% to Antoine. Jasper Wilds, 15%. Eliza, 15. Ivan. Everyone else gets 15. Myrtle gets 10, though. But Antoine, anytime someone goes, he gets their percentage, which is kind of garbage, but okay. All right. I guess we don't know who this guy is still. Anyways, let's continue. Come quick, Myrtle. Maybe we can still save him. Let's see. Ruby ring. Okay. First aid. Love that. Suffocation. He has a blue tongue, damaged intestines, hallucinogen overdose, presence of nerve agent or head trauma, dilated pupils mixed with heightened sensory inputs. I'm going to say that dude is not living with that. He's living with suffocation. Interesting. What a terrible symptom this mushroom caused. Blue skin tint can be caused by low body temperature or oxygen deficient in blood. Deficit in blood. There we go. Normal skin tone, red skin tone, can be caused by high body temperature or oxygen oversaturation in blood. Low oxygen blood, typically caused by blocked airways, lung malfunction, heart malfunction, miscellaneous. The placement of the heart is questionable in this picture. Abnormal body temperature, typically caused by external environment. Some chemicals can also induce it. Yep. Blood agents, Firaxin. Pink paste used in industrial processing. If ingested, blocks organs' ability to retrieve oxygen from blood, causes suffocation, fatal. None of these are good, by the way. Drenochrome, brown liquid, heart stimulant. If overdose, stops heart, fatal. Morticium. dark blue liquid. Anti-parasite drug. If overdose causes extreme airway inflammation, leads to blockage, fatal. And Frigex. That's white pills, sleep drug. If overdose, cools body, damages liver, fatal. Don't die, I guess. Nerve agents. Curatil. Purple liquid, hallucinogen. Overheats body if overdosed. Damages all digestive system, fatal. That sounds like a horrible way to go. And not like a quick one either. Like, make my heart explode immediately. Don't make me have to live through that. Vaunt 42, white powder, pesticide. If overdosed, overheats body, causes brain death, fatal. Promidol salt, white liquid, anesthetic. If overdosed, paralyzes lungs, fatal. And Nurizith, yellow powder, hallucinogen. If overdosed, leads to extreme nausea, non-fatal. Absolutely not. That thing took that guy out. All right. And then we got tropical diseases. Oh, oops. Maldittaria and scarlet fever. Maldittaria is spread by swamp mosquitoes. Symptoms: vomiting, high temperature, fever. Scarlet fever is spread by tropical fly, spitfly. Red pockmarks, very high temperature, yellowing eyes. Sounds like your liver's going into shutdown. Just not a good time overall. Okay, what do we think happened to this guy? He had some of this, but I think there was something maybe sprinkled on top of that. Unknown, though. It shouldn't have killed him at the very least, or so they said. We got cigarettes, we got the map, we got health stuff, and we got whatever that is. We got some makeup, we got some more cigarettes, we got a white powder. I guess this is a first aid kit. We got someone who enjoys planes. We got cigarettes. We got someone who is shaving. This is like a toiletries bag because they needed their toilet paper. But also they needed to shave. They needed their mustache and beard oil. There's a mirror. Got to keep it looking right. Yes, it seems someone is living here, but don't you see, Eliza? They are not attacking us. They're trying to scare us away. That means they are themselves afraid, so we needn't be. We should push on. Still, Jasper, Mr. Monocle is afraid. Mr. Monocle is afraid, and if he wants to return him home, we can't refuse because he owns the ship. Surely you can see that as well as everyone else. There's always a naysayer. What do you mean they're trying to scare him? What do you mean we're trying to scare him? Go home. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's not a scare, that's a threat. That's a about to have action activity. Absolutely not. This guy really said, what if this is okay? This man is not breathing. Good, obviously. And if he was, I'd be concerned for him, and you should be pulling him down. These people have white pills, so someone out here has poisoned this man. And while he was just trying to get high, someone actually poisoned him. I don't know if it was a mosquito. I don't think it was a mosquito. This is Mr. Monocle, I think, because he has his monocle right here. That's very funny. All right, let's go to this one. And this is ink. Drawings of creatures. We found all the clues. Something evolution? I don't know if that's really evolution. That doesn't really seem like an evolution thing. This is something about the reproduction of flowers or something. I don't know. Not entirely sure. All right, so what are we trying to figure out? We got our words, we got our people, we got our events. Okay, so we got to figure out. Oh, there's an extra. That's not an extra person, is it? At least we're not trying to identify the guy on the effigy thing. Okay. All right. Okay. This feels like a lot. Okay, so I think we actually have to jump back to previous things to figure out who everyone is, because, and I don't think we need to go back to the first case. I think we need to go to the second one, maybe. No, this is the correct one, because this tells you what was in everyone's stuff. She had these cigarettes and a knife. She had this book about creatures, also a ruby ring. He had the map. So I think that will actually help us. We'll start with those three. Let's try to identify those three. Okay. My brain was trying to wrap itself around what was happening here versus here. Turns out, like a century and a half later, not even that much. Century and a quarter, not even that much. A century and some years. There we go. Difference. All right, so let's see if we can identify who's in the tents. Okay, so she had the cigarettes in the blue. He didn't have those. She had this. Oh, man. That's annoying. I hate not having memory ability. Yeah, she had those ones. She didn't have any cigarettes. He had the map. Okay. Okay. All right. She had the. I guess she's wearing the ruby ring. Okay, he had the map though. The map. She was the one looking at the creatures. And also with all the health stuff. All the first aid kit stuff that actually is being utilized. Because no one else brought theirs. Who are they calling the witch? Because some of these are from. These are from the two different expeditions. There's. Hang on. Okay, spacebar is the button. Okay. Okay, so. This is the captain's journal. I think this is the captain. I'm trying to remember what the captain. You know what? The captain, didn't he have a peg leg? See, this is why I can't be taking weeks off from this game. This is precisely why. Okay. So this is. Okay, there's the first. Okay, so the captain is. Or was. Now it's the first mate. This is the first mate. Okay. second mate, but didn't all these people get killed? I feel like they did. I feel like, yeah, they all died. So he's the one that has the map and the book of all the people. She has these cigarettes and that knife. Okay, so she has the, yeah, she still has those cigarettes. She has the ruby ring, the creatures of the Messerade. He has that gun. That might be useful. I do think that the first case of this whole thing has the names of everyone. So it's not really a huge thing to try to remember everything. I'm just gonna take a little snapshot real quick. It'll be fine. Okay. Let's also go outside and see where everyone is. This is the captain that was doing the sale, did the sales. Not the sales, but does the tours. That's what it is. Captain Radigan. Okay, so he's already gone. I think that actually may be the guy that's hanging up on the effigy. So if we jump back over to 1927, that may be him right there. Maybe. Okay. So he would have to be on this side. So there's the map. That's what I'm going to figure on that one. On this one, we'll say a witch. The one... Okay, hold up. Let's switch back over. We didn't pay much attention to this one. Okay, so did the... Oh, there's a clock here that's set to like almost 10. Yeah, almost 10. But she has a stopwatch, that kind of gun, and a dagger. What a crazy thing. I wonder if this is the witch. I don't know if they would call him that, but it has the same symbols that's on his hand. Let's give it a shot. So the guy that's covering his face like this here. There's this tent right here. I was like, I don't know what this is. Okay. You won't shoot a sick woman. Was there no... Okay, there's this thing. Ada has red marks. I'm trying to figure out if all the people who are currently dead, if they were the ones on watch duty. Because it could be that. But it all looks like they saw something, heard something. They're doing the no speak, no hear, no see or something, whatever that is. They're doing that with their hands, which is Insane. Um, okay. What does it get us? I don't know about that. Oh, these two share a thing. Okay, so there's two spots in one of these tents. This one. Yeah, see, no, speak, no, hear, no evil. Yes. Okay, so this is Ada. She's considered a witch. Okay, so what if she actually put this mark on this guy? In which case, that's not him. This is actually... Get over here. This is actually... Oops. Not what I wanted. This. Get out of here. Okay, this one. She's the witch. She puts that on, let's say, him. There, and then maybe... Okay. I feel like I don't have a lot of context. The witch. So she is considered the witch. She has this when she is sick. Okay. I guess we don't need this. Okay, let's move all these people, because this is the only one I'm kind of sure about. Also, I realized that this guy has beard and mustache stuff, and he would be the one that would want to keep it nice, looking nice, because look at how that was tailored. It looks good. Those are her cigarettes, and she also wears a lot of makeup, and that's fine. I think that's the color of her lipstick right there. This guy... I'm just going back through, because I just don't know the context for these guys yet. But we'll get back to it. This one feels right. And this one feels right, too. I think... deducing that these are all good is fine, or knowing that these are good and then just deducing that this guy currently who is dead is here, that's got to be him. Now these people, the only one that says they call her the witch, she's doing witchy things on the ground, he was affected by her, maybe. Let's see if we can get some more context. Also, hold up. Let's see if we can see anything interesting on these previous cases. Let's go back to 1797. Back at it again. Okay. So we got names here, but none of these people seem to be... I mean, these three are the only ones from 1797, so maybe this isn't where we need to be looking. Okay, 1797, so much was going on. It just seemed like everyone died in this situation. So these are not useful to the overall scope of this. Okay. All right. I like that the music kind of actually. I think there's like the running drums across all of them, so that even when you switch cases, it doesn't feel like you've even changed songs until the like it's just mildly different. It's very interesting. Okay. This person's working with chemicals. They look like a surgeon, maybe. So my punishment is the only reason I'm alive. There's a clock. So maybe they're the partner? Okay, let's see. I could see that being the case. And then that doesn't feel right either. Maybe they're actually up there. How do I figure this out? Let's review it. Okay. We have watch duty. Okay. Let's back up. Let's go. Let's just review. We got a total of 5 people right here. 4 of the people had watch duty. 1 person did not. She didn't because she's sick. Okay. Okay. We'll come back to that. Okay, let's go look at this. This is the witch claims she has a preventative cure for the cure in her kit. Oh, maybe they're calling the person who knows medicine the witch. I saw the dreaded spitflies again, avert marks of the deadly disease from my body. Take others. The witch claims she has a preventative cure for the fever in her kit. If this is true, give poor Tom a sign. Okay, so then let's review. Let's assume that maybe this is the person whoever the captain is. Who's the captain here? This guy has blonde hair. Where would we find these people? Did he not get to eat? Did who not get to eat? Or are we talking about this person right here? I wonder if the fancier this, that means it's like a captain split. You know what? We can ask that question here. Because I think someone had a fancy blade, maybe, or a fancy... Nothing fancy here. Not a fancy thing here. Let's go out. Nothing fancy. Nope. Those 2 did survive, though. There's no fancy anything here. Okay, they also died. Legit, the only two people that survived were right there, and even then, I think the sun was taken away. Yeah, there's nothing that says that any of them was the captain. That's okay. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. So maybe this guy who seems to be terrified. Okay. Oh, that's not correct. There we go. Got it. Somehow. Okay, let's look at deaths. To which we need... Oh, whose stuff do we need? Not this, and not this. Okay. Not that. I guess the scene is actually over here. For at least to have the information. Who... There we go. No. I'm curious about this still. That looks real weird. And I don't know why this Black Raven whiskey is out here hanging out. Okay. Who has this information? Okay. Alright, let's slow down. Try to read. Does he have it? She doesn't have it. Oh, yes, she does. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, all three of these people... Okay, he has too much oxygen in the blood. This is a lack of oxygen. Overheated body. Cool body. All right, let's look at this. Okay. There's a nerve agent maybe on this guy. I didn't get a good look at his pupils though. He doesn't have big pupils. Hard to tell on these other guys since, you know, they're covering their eyes and turned away. Alright, let's see what else we got. Symptoms: blue skin can be from low body temperature to oxygen deficit in blood. High temperature, oxygen oversaturation. Okay. Cools body, damages liver. Heart stimulant, stops heart, fatal. Furaxin is a pink paste. Extreme airway inflammation lead to blockage, fatal. None of these particularly says that you're gonna be right. I don't know. Let's bring this down. Obviously, these are suffocation. It's got to be that or cold body. I mean, they kind of look frozen, don't they? But that's not what happens. And none of these look like they've had any sort of internal issues. I mean, this guy just looks like he took a bite and it fell out of his mouth. I think the only one that we can actually kind of do almost immediately is this guy who has suffocation, which right here, his death was caused by, let's see, that overheats the body, damages all, paralysis, lungs, no extreme nausea. That wasn't the issue. Yeah, too much oxygen. Oof. Well, his tongue. Oh, so here's the thing: is that they have crazy things. Suffocation. He has a blue tongue. He has a blue tongue. He doesn't have dilated eyes. He doesn't have a high temperature. I don't think he has a high temperature. I think he's too much oxygen, which means he like took a really good breath and then he started suffocating, and so the oxygen can only do so much. Is he overheated though? I mean, he could be overheated. Overheated is suffocation. What does that? Overheated suffocation. Heart stimulant, that would automatically make you hot. You start sweating, and then your heart just stops, and then you suffocate because your heart's not beating and moving the oxygen through, moving your blood through, and processing the oxygen. That is a. Hang on a second. It's up here. It's right here. The Nurozinth, which is a yellow powder. It's a hallucinogen. Leads to extreme nausea, non-fatal. I mean, I guess it could be a promedial salt, but paralysis of the lungs. Okay, he suffocates and he's overheated. Let's has nothing to do with digestion, so it's not curatil. I don't know. I hate the fact that the A and the R are that way. He's not dead from the mushroom. Hold up. This guy, he was in this tent. No, he was in the tent with this. He had some pills on him. Yeah, Curatil. He has some pills on him. In which case, let's take a look at that book again. The pills here. Those are liquids, powders. This is a white pill. This is a sleep drug, but it cools the body and damages his liver. So that's not what caused the issue. However, there is this bottle of whiskey here that is more or less a brown liquid. It doesn't necessarily look like it was opened. We don't get a lot of details about it, obviously. But also, there was something in this. Okay, hold up. Whatever this is, I don't think that's a cigar. I think that's something that's carrying something in there. There's a tiger on his, or some sort of cat creature, maybe even an owl. And there's this crown. What is that? The pills are the red herring. Those pills didn't do anything. Whatever is in this is probably the issue. No one else has that in his room. However, there's this person that has some yellow paste. And then there's the white powder. A white paste, but that just seems to be shaving cream. But there is this pink liquid. And that doesn't look like anything in particular. Well, I guess there's a yellow, because black equals yellow. The black liquid and the blue liquid, but that's just ink, it seems to be. Okay, so let's see. He has a red skin tone caused by high oxygen or high body temperature. So low oxygen in blood can be caused by heart malfunction. So if he did have his heart just stop, then he would be bluer. I don't know if he suffocated. That doesn't match up with anything. That doesn't make sense. He would turn, these are the ones that seem to be like, you will turn blue from this. All of these are blue skin tone options, whereas this is maybe a red skin tone option. Overheats body, damages all digestive system, overheats body, causes brain death, fatal. Paralyzes lungs, fatal. White liquid. And yellow powder leads to extreme nausea, but that's not what, again, not what's happening here. He doesn't have head trauma either, because you think if there's a brain death, then maybe... And these mosquitoes aren't it. This is not a hallucinogen overdose. This is not presence of a head trauma. So he did not do anything that should have affected his head, his perception, or anything outside of, you know, the drugs. Okay. So it's one of these. It's not a full suffocation. That's what I'm thinking about. That this is not a full suffocation. His tongue is only partially blue. Could be Vont 42 or Pomodil salt. We don't know what's in these tubes, but he had 4 of them. Vont 42. It can only be wrong. Okay, So then let's look at these other guys. The Curatil. What is the... Okay, let's look at what the Curatil does, because I can't remember from page to page. Purple liquid overheats body, damages all digestive system, fatal. The Curatil would not have changed his color. Hang on. Hallucinogen overdose. No, his tongue would be a different color. Because if it's a hallucinogen, cool. He doesn't have damaged intestines either. Though, I wonder... No. That'd be rude if they didn't do this color-coded and everything. I do like these colors on these things, though. I'm really vibing with them. Like, I would want some shoes that look like this. Or maybe a phone case with this on there. Something like that. Like, they look really cool. I like the colors and options that they gave. He never made it to eating this mushroom, by the way. He done got into something crazy. But I feel like he did have a hallucinogen since he's on a track to try and get high. Like, that seems to be his whole goal. He's eating this thing to get a little bit high. And then he has the tubes in his room that look like he's trying to get high too. Like, he brought his own drugs. Oh, hold up. This blocks organs' ability to retrieve oxygen from blood, causing suffocation. He has Firaxin. That's what killed him. He has the oxygen saturation because his body, his lungs, and his organs couldn't pull the oxygen out of the blood. And it caused him to suffocate. That's why he looks red. See, that's Trixie. That's Trixie right there. It isn't the fact he wasn't overheated. It was the too much oxygen in blood. Therefore, he suffocated. Therefore, making this an issue of Firaxin. Okay. Let's go to these jaded guys. I feel smart. Sometimes it just takes rereading the same thing 12 times to really take in all the words, you know? So this guy... Twerp slept on duty, couldn't keep his eyes open for 4 measly hours. Penalty of death by withholding something. By withholding something. Did what was supposed to be done. Got what he wanted and what he deserved. What a jest. Continuing our journey to destination, heading back, Ada reports slight fever. Twerp slept on duty. Couldn't keep his eyes open for 4 measly hours. Heh. Death penalty of death by withholding something. I am truly a genius. I don't think those are necessarily connected. I think... Okay, let's open this again. I think Ada has red marks is one event. Twerp couldn't keep his eyes open for 4 measly hours. That's a separate event. And penalty of death by withholding something. I am truly a genius. That's a separate event. It was kind of hard to tell at first. Because I really thought that Twerp was the one that was withholding something. But no, that makes sense. Okay. I am curious. Okay. Also, unsure the gender of this person. I thought they were female for a bit, but I don't know. So okay, so let's. I wonder if they all had a hallucinogen. Did anyone have anything sus here? Outside of a standard pipe, no. Avert marks of deadly disease from my body. Take others. Give poor Tom a sign. Okay. Maybe the fish. Maybe the fish was poisonous somehow. Because that would explain why there are 3 gone fish, but also like she got bit by one of the mosquitoes. That's for sure. But she's not dead yet. We don't have to figure that one out. It's a sorrowful thing what befell Walter Keene. I liked him. He never hit me, not even once. Drowsiness doth overtake me, and the witch proclaims herself stricken with illness. I assume this is the witch. Yes. So maybe 3 people ate batfish. Can we just make that a weird assumption? Okay, let's see. Maybe. Hold up. Okay, so if you had extreme nausea, you maybe would cover your mouth, right? Or maybe if you had damage to your digestive system, you would cover your mouth. Like you don't want to throw up or something. But all these people don't have overheated bodies. And I feel like I need to go back here because, or somewhere. Okay, low body temperature or oxygen deficit in blood. High body temperature or oxygen silver saturation in blood. Blocked airways, lung malfunction, heart malfunction. Typically caused by external environment. Okay. They all have green to blue skin. Fluorescence not their issue. Extreme airway blockage extreme airway inflammation leading to blockage, fatal. But why are they doing the see no, hear no, speak no evil thing? That's the real question. I mean, ultimately, they could all have been taken out by adrenochrome, which is a brown liquid. It's a heart stimulant. In which case, they would have been grasping at their chest, I feel like. Because their heart is, not doing the heart thing. But if they were concerned about the bug bites, then the anti-parasite drug might be the issue. Leading to a blockage. If they're fatal. Maybe it has nothing to do with the fact that they're where their hands are placed. Morticium. I forgot to see if they had if there was a nerve agent present. Morticium. there's a blood agent if that's the case, but that's not an option. I don't think that's... Oh. Where's the issue? But I mean, there's only 6 things on this page anyway, so it could be anything, any old thing. I think it's definitely lack of oxygen in blood. I don't... you know... There's... We didn't see their tongues. We just saw eyes on one guy. Adrenochrome? It's not that one. I don't think it's that one either. We're not good on this yet, obviously. Heart stimulant. Stops heart. Fatal. Dude, let's see if there's anything about that, about this site. He's covering his eyes, he's covering his ears, he's covering his mouth. His eyes are incredibly dilated. Okay. That makes a bit of a difference. We don't really know what's in the sack. Okay. It's almost 10, I guess, in the morning. My punishment is the only reason I'm alive. What punishment? The punishment of what? The punishment of what? The punishment? Oh, wait, this almost says almost 10. Who was supposed to be on the watch at that point? Okay, do I not know how to look at a watch? I know how to tell time. Unless that's actually 7 or 8. Almost 8. Because when you take out a stopwatch or a pocket watch, you're always looking at it slightly catty corner. Like if you take this out with your right hand, you're going to have your finger in the loop. And so you can read it better, you would kind of have it turned. And that's what this means, is that this is your 12 o'clock point. So if we, do time things, this looks like almost 8. Which means... because Stefan fell asleep, he didn't get attacked by whatever. And Ada was sick and not on watch, which means that the captain came out to fuss at him, and instead got caught in the stuff. So, interesting, fascinating, terrible. All right, so let's go look. It's a hallucinogen, as you stated, yes. Um, but these bodies aren't overheated. Neurozinth, but it's not supposed to be fatal. These are high temperature things, these tropical diseases. Presence of a nerve agent. Okay, so we can just go with that. It's not that, though. I guess if we go into this guy's stuff, Wizard's Hat, you can meet your shadow. But we already know that it wasn't that, so maybe I need to put down Wizard's Hat. No, okay. Okay. Nerve agent presence or head trauma. What if we combine cool body and nerve agent presence? What does that get us? Nerve agent plus cool body. Promedial salt. Neurozinth would have... Head trauma. I'm sorry. Head trauma. Oh, see, that's not even an option. There's a nerve agent. Definitely there. Okay, nerve agent plus lack of oxygen equals... Promedial? Cool. I'm somehow unsatisfied with that, but okay. All right. In 1797, Ada Baker contracted, was it scarlet fever? To prevent themselves from getting ill, Tom, Cyril, and Jacques consumed... Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, she had scarlet fever. But to prevent scarlet fever, they ate some salt, promedial salt, the remaining crew, who is Stefan, was discovered, was refused The remaining crew, Stefan was refused the having slept on watch duty, was refused the promedial salt having slept on watch duty. However, the promedial salt was poisonous. So Tom, Jacques, and Cyril died. In 1927, that's Eliza. She wanted this. Okay, so Eliza Swan wanted the expedition terminated after the body of Radigan was discovered. To ensure the expedition continued, the one who is dead is Antoine, and he died from Firaxin. But who killed him? That's the real question. Wait, what does Firaxin look like? Let's look at that real quick. Not on that page. Firaxin is a pink paste. So whoever's tent has pink paste, they're the killer. This guy So if this is Myrtle, this is Jasper, this is Radigan, this is Eliza, then that only leaves one fellow, and that's Ivan. Maybe? Oh, what do we have wrong? It's only two things. No, Ivan didn't want him dead. Jasper did. Nope, we were closer with Ivan. No, still Ivan. Okay, we know this is Ivan for sure. Eliza wanted the expedition terminated after the body of Radigan Nolita was discovered. Ada Baker contracted scarlet fever. Yes. To prevent themselves from getting ill. Okay, hold on. This worries me that there's something constantly happening at work right now, and I know a lot of it is that there's a hurricane about to hit them or is hitting them, and so they're all on kind of like holiday tomorrow, but it's not a holiday, it's a staycation, obviously. But there's a lot of emails coming in right now, and that terrifies me for the morning. So she has the first aid book. What are we trying to answer? What are we trying to... Okay. Tom Atkin, Cyril, and Jacques consumed the promedil salt she provided. I thought maybe fish would be up there, but no. It's all there. You know what? I don't think... Okay, what if he wasn't killed with Firaxin? What if they didn't know he had that in his system? They just said, eat that mushroom. And so, Neurozinth? No. Okay, I was correct on the Firaxin still. Cool. To ensure the expedition continued, Ivan Kearns killed Antoine. Maybe it's terminated. And not, like, what if he killed him to say, we've got to go? Nope. We want it to continue? Cool. That was the body of Radigan Olita. Was discovered. Okay. To ensure the continuation of the expedition, Ivan Kearns killed Antoine. But why? Oh. Mr. Monocle is afraid, and if he wants to return home, we can't refuse. He owns the ship. That's why they killed him. I was like, why this guy specifically? Because he owned the ship. And he wants this to continue for some reason. Unless it isn't him. No, we already put in Myrtle. Yeah, this is still Ivan. Antoine is dead. What is your struggle? Maybe we're missing something in this book. So, promedil salt is a nerve agent. It's an anesthetic. It's a white liquid. It's a white liquid. So it's in her tent that... Not that one. This one? Yes. The promedil salt... I wonder if they were trying to take something else and ended up taking... Promedil salt was... What else is a white liquid in this case? Let's switch back. White pills, brown liquid, brown paste, pink paste. White liquid. It was supposed to be a white powder. Hold up. What if they took Vaunt 42? Okay, no. Cool. Love this. Providel salt still. However, the Providel salt was poisonous. So Tom, Jacques, and Cyril. Cyril for next. Okay. I just want to switch around their names for some unknown reason. Eliza Swan wanted to... Oh, maybe it isn't Eliza Swan. Maybe it's Antoine who wanted the thing stopped. She was just trying to talk sense into him. It didn't change. That's fine. So Eliza works, but also so does Antoine here. I don't... One of the expedition terminated after the body of Radigan Olita was discovered. To ensure the expedition continued, Ivan Kearns killed Antoine. But now this is making it look like... Okay, that's not changing either now. If I change this one, it's still not wrong. That means this is the one... I didn't change anything. I legit haven't changed anything. I still think this is Antoine Sal's Spilsbury. Wanted the expedition terminated after the body of Radigan Olita was discovered. To ensure that the expedition continued, Ivan Kearns killed Antoine Spilsbury with Faraxin. Is that the thing that killed him? Yes. What's wrong with this sentence? Okay. Radigan's gone. Antoine is the sponsor. He owns the boat. Ivan wants more of a cut. Come quick, Myrtle. We can still save him. This is still giving me 2 or fewer incorrect. Ivan is acting like he wants to continue to save him. Don Hernan. Okay. with Antoine gone, that means that split comes out to be pretty even. Does he look like he's on drugs? Are we talking about the fact that his eyes are wide open? His eyes are dilated too? That could be something. Like, she has normal eyes, but he doesn't. So what if he was the one doing this, but the Firaxin... I mean, it's his stuff. That was his tent. So yes, he killed him. That's the one thing I'm like 100% sure on. And that he's the one who's dead. And the Firaxin is the stuff that he was putting on his mustache. Okay. Antoine wanted the expedition terminated. Radigan's dead. He doesn't even count. Okay, so Antoine fits, anyone fits here, which means something else is not correct. But I think it's going to be Antoine, because why kill him? All right, wanted the expedition terminated after the body of Radigan Olita was discovered. Maybe this is not the issue. One thing is incorrect, and I don't know where it is. I'm trying to figure out if there's something wrong. Like, Ada Baker contracted, I thought it said scarlet fever, but I think there's actually two things wrong now, even though I didn't change anything worthwhile. Like, that's still saying two or fewer correct. Okay. Tom, Cyril, and Jacques consumed the promethil salt. Okay. Okay, so we know that Radigan's the dead one. Ivan is the one that definitely tried to kill him. So swapping those two known goods, that made it wrong. Okay. We know that Antoine wants this expedition terminated. And we know that it was the body. So I'm not seeing anything else in the color right here that isn't the body, that isn't related to a corpse or whatever. Okay. We'll take out Firaxin and we'll put in Frigex. So it's still giving me that. So there's two wrong. Because we know it was Firaxin. Okay, what is incorrect? Tell me your secrets. Stephen Garner was the one with the 4-hour shift. It didn't go incorrect. It went to two or fewer still, I think. I forgot. We know that the one sentence we know is that Stephen Garner was refused the promethil salt. That was his punishment for having slept on watch duty. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, what is this, your punishment saved you sort of situation? But now we know. He wasn't given the promethil salt because he slept on the watch duty. Bro really thought he was a genius. Okay. To prevent themselves from getting ill, Tom Atkins, Cyril Amiot, and Jacques Triton consumed the promethil salt she provided. 8 is the one with the sickness. We know that for sure. However, the promedill salt was poisonous. That didn't change. Why? Poisonous. So Tom Atkin, Cyril, and Jacques died. What am I screwing up here? Yellow Amanita. Zurathith. Okay. I wonder if he put the pink fluid in here, and that's why we're shown this whiskey. The pink paste was mixed in here, and he had been drinking some. But it doesn't look open. It doesn't look anything in particular. Those pills are for what? The Frigex is a sleep drug. I mean, his eyes also look a little bit yellowed compared to everyone else. What? Okay. I can't see how these last two paragraphs are wrong, nor can I see how this first sentence is incorrect. I can't see how this sentence about Stephen Garner would be incorrect. I don't see where the issue is overall. I think that's fundamentally the issue, is that I don't know what it is. And that's the puzzle, I think. Let's go back to Scarlet Fever. But they use anesthetic to think that's going to prevent them from getting ill versus a pesticide. But that's what's killed them too, though. I don't... What if I have this name wrong? If I put someone in that's wrong, it still shows that 2 or fewer are incorrect. Was refused the Promedill salt, having slept on watch duty. To prevent themselves from getting ill, Tom Atkins, Cyril, and Jacques consumed Promedill salt. What am I missing here? My punishment is the only reason I'm alive. It's almost 8. Did what was supposed to be done. Got what he wanted and what he deserved. What a jest. I guess that's the line about Walter Keane. Heading back, Ada reports slight fever. Ada has red marks. Penalty of death by withholding something. I am truly a genius. So these two lines were actually correct in terms of that they were dealing with the same thing. They weren't different instances of anything. They're the same instance. Almost 8. Stephen Garner, Jacques, Cyril, and Tom. I swear I didn't know. You won't shoot a sick woman, will you? What did you not know? Were they both killed by Faraxin? But that's not the same way to die either, so... She didn't know it was poison. But she's the one who knew the most about medical stuff. It's a nerve agent. It's a white lung, paralyzes lungs, fatal. This is on the page of all the... I say it's the stuff that overheats the body, but they were definitely cool. No, they had a lack of oxygen. Never mind. Okay. Okay, so then we don't need this again. She didn't know it was poisonous. Was pesticide? But again, nothing's changing here, which is wild. She didn't know Providil salt was Providil salt. She didn't know Providil salt was watch duty itself. It's starting to sound like an ad-lib. Okay, I think all of the blue is correct. I can't see the blues being wrong. We know that Tom, Cyril, and Jacques, even though we don't know their name, well, I mean, we know who followed through on their watch, and the 2 who didn't. One who didn't even have the duty, and one who fell asleep on duty. We know those 2. He had 4 hours. That was Stefan. We know that for a fact. We know Ada didn't even have duty because she was sick. We know they were trying to keep from catching her sickness, so they took an anesthetic, Providil salt. We know how they died. What is the issue? Is it the Who's? We only have 5... No, we had a total of 6 people, but we lost him at the boat, and then we found him, or they found him. Black Raven whiskey. It's a brown. What does this have to do with anything? Why show us that? A brown liquid? Did she not know that It was adrenochrome? No. Is it even promethylene salt that's supposed to be there? Adrenochrome. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Promethylene salt. Tom, Cyril, and Jacques died. Promethylene salt has got to be poisonous. There was a body. He was killed by Firaxin. They were killed by promethylene salt. The poisonous was promethylene salt. Okay, you can't just swap those around. That means we have 2 wrong. If both of these are... So, moving this somewhere else didn't change it. We have 2 things wrong still, which is frustrating. I think. I don't know. Yeah, we had 3 things wrong when I had those switched, but now swapping these back, we're back to the 2 or fewer incorrect. Radigan is the one that died. I don't see how that's wrong. Antoine. He's the one that got affected, so he's the one spoken about. Wanted to terminate the expedition, terminated, which makes sense. All the sense. Still, Jasper, Mr. Monocle is afraid, and if he wants to return home, we can't refuse because he owns the ship. Surely you can see that as well as everyone else. For a second there, I thought, what if Antoine actually killed himself to get out of it? Because he was so afraid. But that's not the answer. It's not Jasper. Okay. Ivan Kearns, correct. If I put anyone else here, it still says there's 2 things wrong. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put Antoine because he is the star of the show today, unfortunately. Radigan is dead, and I guess so is Antoine. Tom, Jacques, and Cyril. These are the 2 that are still alive. Ada contracted scarlet fever. Let's make sure that's correct, because I don't trust myself now. She had red pock marks. See, that makes me think, like, what if he actually has scarlet fever, too? Like, what if he just had so much going on with him because he has very high body temperature, or actually just a lot of oxygen in him, so we already know that. No nerve agents. We know what he died from. But he did take some sleep drugs. He wanted the expedition. What if the issue is not the body of Radigan was discovered? What if After the I don't know what it could be, but what if it's not that? What if it's nothing of someone else was discovered? But I think the only thing that matters is that there is a body hanging up, and we know it is Radigan Alita. And unfortunately, he was discovered. Ivan Kearns uses beard oil. To kill Antoine with Firaxin. Prometheus salt was poisonous. What if it's not? No, there's 3 spots. What is this thing that has 2 spots of the same word? Just Antoine is the only one with 2. However, the Prometheus salt was poisonous. Fell asleep on watch duty. Makes sense. Ada Baker. Okay, let's go back. She would know what these things do. But she doesn't own the Firaxin. That's the disconnect. And none of these people are sharing a tent together. They all have their own tent. However, we can see who's next to him. Okay, so he's a dandy fellow. Okay. Next, okay, is the person. So that's Eliza. Eliza's in the tent next to him. Like directly next. They're across the way. He's kind of siloed himself. Okay. Do we think it's Eliza? Will she kill him? Hard to tell. Does he look guilty to you? Is this a face of a guilty man? And I don't like that we can't see what's in her pockets. It's a pink liquid. Yeah, his eyes do look shifty. She just looks tired and over it. They both have a ruby ring. Do they all have a ruby ring? No, they don't. And it's worn on the right hand on the middle finger. I feel like there's some sort of connection there. And maybe she's actually upset because she would get the smallest cut while he's making his cut larger. And she knows what this stuff does. Maybe that's... Let's see if something else is now wrong. If I take out Tom here and I throw in Radigan... Okay, we have only one thing now. I think that actually fixed this issue. That this is actually Myrtle. Especially being a neighbor. He looks mostly worried, but she looks unbothered. Like, he'll pass in a minute. Don't worry about it. Or maybe they're in it together. Ada has scarlet fever. Tom, Cyril, and Jacques consumed the Promedil salt. Consumed. Any other thing that says they... Okay. If you think there are two things wrong still... Because Okay, let's take out Tom and throw in someone who's definitely not there. It still says 2 or fewer. But adding in... It's still saying 2 or fewer. I don't know how... I'm so bad at logic things like that. I don't know why I can't... I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's ask more questions. When I changed this to Myrtle, that now left only one thing wrong. Why do we have the word nothing? That would have been funny if she actually hadn't contracted anything. Okay. Okay. So that is wrong. So this has to be Stephen Gardner. I feel like part of the issue is that there is a solid 8-second 8-second delay between when you can respond minimally, because that's when the thing comes across. I think there's still only one thing now. If Myrtle's song is here, I think that solves one of them, but I don't know what the other one is. True, it is a good idea. It's a fantastic idea. Unfortunately, that is not the situation. Slept on watch duty. Would have been so funny. Right? Maybe that's really this situation. What if we're reading this all wrong? I've done this before, where I had one idea of what actually happened, and it turned out to be very different, all because some of the words fit. She contracted nothing. That was the thing. That's insane. Okay, so Ada Baker painted red spots on her face to convince the crew she had scarlet fever. As the ship's surgeon, she prescribed them all a prophylactic antidote, which was actually poison. Only Stefan survived, as Captain Triton had denied him the dose. When Antoine Spilsbury saw Radigan and Leda's bloated body strung up like a scarecrow, he panicked and wanted to end the expedition. As the financier and ship owner, his decision would have been final. To prevent this from happening, Ivan Kearns laced Antoine's whiskey, that's what I thought, okay, with a deadly pink paste, which he had kept in his tent disguised as mustache wax. Okay. Hold on. I need to go back in. I want to take a look at her tent. Not that one. Ah, that's what that paintbrush is. That's such a small clue. And for what? That small little paintbrush. Thank you. You actually helped more on that last bit. I was like, but I'm glad I thought, what if it's not what I think it is? Because, again, this game makes me think, okay, it's got to be this way. And then it's like, oh, wait, if we look at it slightly different, then it feels either more nefarious and worse, and these people still died, or it just changes the whole meaning of this ending, which this did. The fact that she contracted nothing is wild. So that's cool. That'd be crazy. She contracted nothing, and it was all to get them poisoned. But this one was to prevent the expedition from ending. Crazy that's what that it was. Okay. Cool. I like to see the small, tiny clues that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. Okay, let's go back to this. And let's look at this. Dear Quick Eye Steward, it has come to our attention that that a new obsession. Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning right now. Excuse me. Okay. First it was a burp, then it was a yawn. Like, get it together, body. It has come to our attention that a new obsession has gripped Port Armando, the hunt for the legendary Captain Triton's treasure. Let me try that again. Let me read it like it's written. It's come to our condition. It's come to our attention that a new obsession has gripped Port Armando. Stop. The hunt for the legendary Captain Triton's treasure. Stop. We require you to proceed there immediately and investigate the matter thoroughly. Our sources suggest that the treasure may contain the fabled Lemurian artifact known as the Wish Bloom. According to legend, the Wish Bloom possesses an ability to grant wishes, though it does so in a perverse and twisted manner. Securing the artifact, I mean, that's just any old, like, magic lamp genie thing. Yeah, the tiger, the eye thing. I think they might be in it together. Antoine and Myrtle, meaning. I don't know. I want to go back and look to see who had the two symbols, because one had an eye symbol on their stuff, and it may have just been Antoine altogether. Um, Anyways, let me finish reading. Securing the artifact is of utmost importance to our organization. However, you are to exercise to the highest degree of caution in its presence. We have enclosed a Lemurian text detailing the known properties and behaviors of the Wishbloom. Study it carefully. Finally, you will need to contact our initiate, whose details are provided over leaf. He will obey your orders and help you in this mission. Yours in the mask, Quick Eye Master. Okay, so let's see. Let's see who had the lion tiger thing in their tent. He has the lion tiger thing. The initiate is the one with the eye. It's her. It's Myrtle. That's what the Wishbloom. That's what this is. It's all coming together now. All right. All right. He's supposed to operate with the utmost caution. But I mean, that's what happens. And so I guess they're going to continue. He was too on the vices. That's why the ring was important to connect them that way, and I wasn't sure how. But he was very much so all about getting high, and he should have been more cautious overall. And I guess he saw these things. I guess Ivan said, what if... No, he put it in there. So he was already high on something else, and he just gave him something that tipped him right on over. Cool. That's a lot. They fit a lot in such a small space of everything. All right. Fascinating. That's a lot. Well, I think it always amazes me that even though I looked at the clock at like 9:30 and I was like, I'll finish this in 15 minutes or less, and still didn't finish, but still managed to finish on time for the stream to end, which I feel like I need to start streaming longer, but maybe I'll start streaming earlier because my 7 o'clock meeting is now back at 6 because the time changed, and that was the only reason I didn't have a 7 o'clock meeting. So maybe I'll push stream back to 7 again. What do you think about that? What do y'all think about that? Just, is 7 a good time? Or maybe, again, maybe I need to find a different day to also stream on, because I want to stream more. There's so many games out there. Some games that I would also like to just finish and just like sit down. Maybe I'll stream on Saturday where I'll just stream for as long as I play a game until I'm tired or something. I'll think about it. Anyways, we'll see about that. I really got to think about it. That, or maybe I don't really want to do Sunday, but maybe Sunday's a good day. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for coming to stream. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. And I will catch up with you next week or earlier. Have a good one. Thank you for coming. Love y'all. Bye-bye.